In the never-quiet world of NFL trade rumors, Jalen Ramsey continues to be a very popular name among top-tier teams. The Dolphins are evaluating all of their options, but it seems like they are ready to move on from Ramsey for the greater good of both sides. Now that this scenario is on the table, which teams have the best chance of landing Jalen? And more importantly, where would he fit in the best if it's not with the Dolphins? There is no doubt about it. Jalen Ramsey is a very popular name in trade discussions, and the NFL teams are losing their minds over it. The Dolphins have a big upside in this deal. It's post-June 1st now, and they would take less of a cap hit if they decide to move Ramsey. The trade discussions, however, were started even before the 2025 NFL draft, so it's obvious that the Dolphins knew that they had a valuable piece that could help them bring some quality talent back. Although a trade is yet to happen, we need to look at all of the realistic options for Ramsey. The speculation continues, but as the days pass, certain teams have been more involved than others. Let's start with the Cardinals, a team that Brandon Austin from Pro Football Network feels has a very good reason to believe Ramsey on their team would be a massive booster of performance. It's definitely viewed as a low-risk, high-reward trade because Ramsey himself is a player who aims at winning championships and making deep playoff pushes, something that the Cardinals miss as the last puzzle to achieve in the NFC West division. Elaborating further on this, Austin wrote, "Garrett Williams had a breakout second season, establishing himself as one of the league's best young slot corners. He was targeted 59 times, allowed 33 receptions, and gave up a 75.2 passer rating. He also allowed a catch rate over the expected -8.6%. However, there are question marks around the rest of the cornerback room. Second round pick Will Johnson was widely considered the best cornerback prospect in the 2025 NFL draft, but he's coming off a season-ending knee injury. Melton is set for a bigger role after starting 3 games as a rookie, but the unit's depth took a hit when Murphy Bunting suffered a season-ending non-contact injury." Apart from the Cardinals, we need to look at what type of package the Vikings have to offer. They are one of the strongest defensive units in the NFL, as they proved that last season. However, there is a big question mark over the productivity that Minnesota will have behind its front seven. Minnesota re-signed nickel man Byron Murphy, but with no cornerback selected in the draft, Rodgers and Blackman are anchored in as the starting outside corners. It could be perceived as a downgrade from last season on paper, because if you look at what Ramsey brought to the table for the Dolphins in the previous campaign, you'd understand the type of player you'll land. He's been a starter in all 17 of the Dolphins games, totaling 60 tackles, 2 interceptions, 1 sack, and 11 passes defended. Yes, I know what you're thinking. This production is below average, but the potential that Ramsey has and the ceiling that he is yet to reach make him pretty much one of the most wanted pieces on the trade market. He's proven that he can play on a very high level even if he lost his way somewhere in the previous season. You can't easily match the instincts, ball skills, physicality, and supreme confidence, which is exactly what coaches look for in a cornerback. And let's not forget that Ramsey worked with Kevin O'Connell with the Rams 4 years ago. So this is just one more reason why Minnesota ranks very high when it comes to teams landing Ramsey. According to Jeremy Fowler of ESPN, this trade is far away from happening because the money factor is just too big of a constraint for the Vikings. When talking about this and shutting down the hopes of all Vikings fans who would have wanted to see Ramsey play with them, Fowler said, "I've thought about the trade with the Vikings. I did check on that. I do not, unless something changes with the maybe, then maybe they would get involved. From what I was told, the money would be sort of a non-starter for Minnesota. I wouldn't totally take it off the table, but I don't have them on my short list." The fact that Ramsey has $24 million guaranteed speaks volumes about the risk that the teams would have to take in order to land the cornerback. The Vikings might pursue a trade involving Sam Howell in order to secure the services of Kirk Cousins from the Falcons, but that is a topic for another video. As of now, there is one team that might have the biggest chance of landing Ramsey, and that's his old squad, the Rams. It's as clear as the sky. No other team in the NFL has been more related to Ramsey than the Rams. They've even spoken publicly about this, even though Sean McVay said recently that a meaningful, tangible dialogue is yet to take place on that front. What's helping the Rams in this discussion is the fact that other teams are not aggressively pursuing Ramsey, so they might not act in a very rash manner and will definitely wait a bit before going all in on their former player. So what offer can the Rams prepare that will grab the attention of the Dolphins? It seems like it will primarily consist of picks, as the Los Angeles team is ready to give in 2026 5th and 6th round picks combined with cash considerations. In this proposal, the Rams would cover at least $12 million of Ramsey's guaranteed money. What the Rams can do, however, is wait for the next season and hope that the Dolphins and Ramsey will part ways mutually. If that's the case, then the Rams would be looking at an extremely more favorable contract in their favor. And with Ramsey's biggest obstacle being his current obligation with the Dolphins, we're yet to see how far the Rams are ready to pursue the signature of their former player. What they do know is that he likes it back in Los Angeles. He knows the team and the structure, and he is ready for a fresh start in an old environment. But in case that doesn't work out, we have one more candidate that will definitely suit up in the offer list for Ramsey: the Panthers. ESPN reported about a potential trade happening between these two sides, and when talking about it to a greater extent, the media wrote, "An additional 4th round pick from Carolina gives Miami a whopping 7 selections in the first 4 rounds of the 2026 draft, not including any compensatory picks. That's more than enough capital to either stockpile young talent as the team continues to build its financial flexibility, or put together a trade package for a difference maker. Either way, a 4th round pick is about as good a return as Miami could ask for." The odds have been stacked against the Dolphins, and they might need to accept the cruel fact that they can't get as much as they want for Jalen. Be that as it may, the situation is not looking extremely well for both sides, because while the team knows he is more or less on the exit door, there aren't tons of teams that would fight to get the cornerback. With all this in mind, where do you think Jalen Ramsey would have the best restart of his career? And more importantly, do you think that the Rams would be smart to go a bit more aggressively for the services of their former player? Let us know in the comments below, and once you do that, make sure to click on the video that appears on your screen right now.